We are not quite finished with the parrot body head. In the last lesson, we used the parrot body technique to create puppies and dog heads and things like that. But now let's move into the common use of the parrot body technique, and that is for birds. And starting with the standard parrot. To make a parrot, it's really simple. All you have to do is this. Make one little bubble, which will be his beak. Then we do two bigger bubbles, will be the back of his head. Okay? Now you twist the two bigger bubbles together. So you're all close to making a parrot body, but you're not quite, because in a parrot body this would be right up next to it and up tight. But you see, I left that loose so that way you can take the knot, stretch it out, just a knot, pull it over the top of the head, and then poke it in through, reach in with the other hand, pull the knot through. It's fairly easy to grab that and then pull straight up and just leave it. And see how it locks right there? You don't have to, don't run the risk of popping the balloon by over tying it. Just through and pull it up, and the knot will keep it untwisting because it's pretty tight. Now when you have the parrot head, see, here's what it looks like. You have the two big bubbles in the back and then the one little bubble in the front, and that way you create more of a beak, and rather than have this bubble clear up equal, just part of three equal sizes. So that's what you want for the parrot body. Now we make the actual parrot body. We have the body and then two wings. Now you can make the wings a little bigger. In fact, just for this sake, let's do that. Let's make the wings a little longer than the body. That way it flares them out a little bit. Lock the wings together, put them around the body like so. Move the beak forward above the body part. Here's his two wings. Here's the back of his head, which also is like his two eyeballs. There we have the front of the parrot. Now we take two little bubbles, a lock of two, to create his feet. And then let's do a lock twist of two to create his tail. Now what you can do is you can do a single balloon and make it a long tail coming down. But for a parrot, I prefer to do a double balloon. By locking two together, make the tail feathers like that. And then the rest of the balloon, I just pop it, get rid of it, and pull the leftover between his 2 feet and kind of push him in a little bit to lock it in, see? And then you have the parrot. Now once you have the parrot made, now this is very important because you can use this design for different birds. It's all about the simple drawing you put on it to help create the difference. Now for a parrot, you want to stay cute and gentle, so you put a big eyeball on. You put a big eyeball here with maybe 3 eyelashes and a big pupil on the eye. Make sure you do the same thing on the other side. Big pupil, 3 little eyelashes. Now, for the beak, I wouldn't put a point on. I would just put 2 dots on the top. You see, like that. 2 dots on the top is more symbolic of a parrot. And maybe you want to just put on a little W or something like that to create the bottom of the feathers. And there you have the beautiful standard parrot. And you can also lock him onto somebody's shoulder or on the edge of a glass just by putting something under his feet like that. And that way he has a place to sit. Now we made the simple parrot, and we drew 2 big eyeballs on the side, 2 little dots on the beak, and then of course the wings or the feathers. Now if I wanted to make it a bird of prey like an eagle or a hawk, I could use the same design and just draw on it differently. In this case, I would make the eyes a little more mean, so maybe I would put a V eyebrow like that, and smaller eyes facing more forward like that. And of course, no, I didn't make my eyes terribly even, but instead of 2 dots at the top, which is one of the big signatures of a parrot beak, you do a point like this, and then a line down the middle like that. And that's what I would do if I wanted to make a more serious bird, or any kind of a point. Just make it different than the 2 dots on the top. And I might make it taller or skinnier, but just a little point that how you draw on it can make a difference on the kind of bird you have without changing the basic structure. Let's go to another style of bird head, starting with the parrot body. But this time, we're going to make the first bubble a little more equal in size to the second 2, unlike the parrot that we did in the beginning. Now, we got the 2 bubbles here, we lock them together, those create the bird's eyes, and we got the back of the head. Now, once again, I want to line that up. I'm not making a bird beak, so I want this to be a little bigger. In fact, if I'd have made that bubble even a little bigger than it is right now, that would be good. Now I'm going to pull the knot over the top like this, all the way up. I'm going to pull it up, the air went out. Arrows of the balloon trade. So let's get another one. Here we go. Oh, brown, better color anyway. Okay, once again, we got the big bubble in the back, got the two eyeballs in the front, lock the two eyeballs together. Where were we? Here. Take the knot, pull over the top like that, come down. This time, don't poke it through and pull it upwards, but take that knot and pull it down tight, bring it down in between the two eyeballs, take the whole head, wrap it around like that, and then take the knot and just poke it in between the two eyeballs. And that locks it in really good, and that way you have the parrot head body. Now see how the bubbles are more equal? Is this is not the beak this time, it's the back of the head. So here we have the two eyeballs right there. Now we're going to make the bird beak. The bird beak is very simple. You make a beak by a lock of two bubbles, except you make the first bubble about twice as big as the second bubble. See, like that. Now that unevenness is how you create a nice bird beak, by locking them together. It creates a nice hook downwards, just see slightly down, pulls this underneath, and you have a little more character in your bird beak. So there you have two eyeballs and a bird beak. Now you can support that bird beak by putting a fold twist on both sides of it, like so. Try to make the fold twist as equal in size as you can. And once you've got that, now you have the two eyeballs, the back of the head, the jowls or the cheeks of the bird, and the bird beak. And for better luck, where's my pen? Here we go. We'll put an eyeball here. Big eyeballs. That makes cute. We like cute. Balloon artists, balloon creations are cute by nature, so make big and bold with personality. Here we got the two eyeballs, the beak, the jowls. That makes for a really cute little creative cartoon bird head. Okay, so we had the standard bird head of the two eyeballs, the beak, and the two jowls. Now, what if we wanted to make like Tweety bird, which is giant eyeballs, a tiny beak, and tiny jowls? Well, you'd think you would do it the same way as the last bird we did, which would be two big eyeballs, the back of the head, just like we did before. Take the back of the head, pull it up over the top, pull the knot down to the bottom, and then tuck it back in. So that way you have a really nice parrot body design of 3. Okay, now, I could maybe do a fold twist or an ear twist, because an ear twist is a small fold twist, basically. It's one bubble, very small, twisted against itself. I could do 2 ear twists and then a bird beak to create a Tweety, but the problem is it pulls it in too tight into the middle and it distorts it. So here's an alternative way, kind of clever, to do a small bird beak. Do a small ear twist for the back as a support for his beak and his jowls. So there's a small ear twist. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to create a ring. We're going to do one small bubble. That would be a support bubble. Then we do one jowl, one beak, one jowl. 3 bubbles. No locks there. So we got a support bubble, a jowl, a beak, another jowl, and then the other support bubble. Now when I say support bubble, you're saying, what do you mean support bubble? A support bubble is a bubble used to push a section of the balloon forward to make it stand out more, or to make it come forward more. So that's what a support bubble is. It's used in many different creations, but for terminology, I call it a support bubble because it's not really part of the design. It's meant to push something outwards. So here's the support bubble. There's the actual face design. Now here's the beauty of it. You take the 2 support bubbles, spread them out like that, move the eyeballs down, move the body forward, just kind of work it a little bit, and just kind of bend it, and voila, you have a really nice little beak with 2 jowls and big eyeballs. See? Like that. And that's how you can create a little Tweety. And we get the trusty pen here, put big eyeball. Now Tweety, the actual Tweety, has a very, very distinctive eyes. You do a large circle on each eyeball, a smaller circle resting on the bottom edge, and then one more circle. So it's 3 circles, and then 3 big eyelashes on the top like that. I wouldn't do much at all on the beak. I would just put a little V maybe like that and leave it at that. And there you have a really nice Tweety head And it's a different style of a support bubble, a jowl, a nose, a jowl, and a support bubble. Now, the important thing about Tweety, his head is bigger than the rest of his body. So all you got to do is make a parrot body, just a small parrot body below him for his body and his wings. Like this. Now if that starts to come separated a little bit like that, that's alright. Just spread out the jowls, move the eyeballs for, oh, that's good. I didn't lock that completely. What's wrong with me? Alright, here we go. Now it's locked. So all I have to do now is just separate that out, pull the eyeballs down in between, and do 2 little ear twists for his feet. Now I can do a full twist tail if I want, or I can just have the tail sticking straight up as a single bubble. It's up to you, whatever your case is. In this case, I'm just going to do just a single bubble straight up, tie it off here. There we go. Put it up in his body like that, and here we have a little Tweety bird. Once again, I shouldn't have drawn, I drew on it too early because this kind of a design can get a little messed up. So you don't want to draw on it till the very end. And there we have the Tweety bird with the 2 little jowls and a beak. It's very, very, very cute little design. Let's take the same sequence of the eyeballs, the beak, and the jowls to create a penguin head. Now, our first bird head, not the parrot head, but our first bird head is almost the same as a penguin head except for one thing. Once again, the back of the head, the 2 eyeballs, just like we did before. Lock the 2 eyeballs together, pull the knot up over the top, pull downwards, twist the whole head once, pull the knot upwards, poke it through. So there you have the 2 eyeballs, the back of the head. Now, do a jowl by a fold twist here and a fold twist here. Now, I haven't done the beak yet. I've got the 2 fold twists. But for the beak, I want to do a large fold twist, larger than the other fold twist, and put it in the front like that. Now, same exact design as the second bird we did, except we don't have a lock of 2 for the beak. We have a large fold twist. By doing that, you create more of a penguin style face. So let's put on big eyeballs, maybe some eyelids this time, because penguins have attitude. I would definitely give it more a sunken eyelid, something like that. Now, if to make the penguin head or the beak, I would do this. I would come up to a point and then down again. And that's how I would do the penguin beak. You can make that bigger, smaller, or even take a bigger round balloon, like a round orange balloon, and put it there. But so that's a variance. And then you do your standard body. You could make large wings to make it flat with the wings going clear out. But this is a penguin head, just a little variance of the bird head. The last character I want to show you is probably one of the more creative applications of the parrot body head, and that is the second most popular balloon in my 30-year career, Garfield. Let's start this time with a small bubble. Now this is Garfield's ears. Now before I continue, I want to let you know that for this design you want as much neck coming off the end of the balloon as you can get. So take your fingers and give it just one, wherever you're holding it right there, before you tie it off, take your fingers, give it one extra pinch down below. See? And now pull and tie it there so you have a lot more neck. And you'll find out why that's important. So that, see how my longer neck there? Whatever it takes, get yourself a longer neck piece there, okay? Now, take a bubble maybe about 1 inch in diameter, ear twist it in itself. Just pinch it right there where the knot is, and then pull outwards and ear twist it. Sometimes it takes a little practice of doing ear twists right at the beginning of the balloon, but with practice it gets easier. Okay, now we have that little bubble. Now let's do a divided ear twist. So we take that little bubble, divide it into 2. Now we have 2 little bubbles and that little piece coming out there. See? Now we're going to do our parrot body. So here's the back of the head. The 2 pieces in the front. We lock together the 2 sections in the front. Roll it around the first. So there we have the parrot body head with the divided ear twist on top with the knot. See? Now I'm going to make Garfield's body. All I have to do is make a body going down, a little short body. You don't want to go longer than the head. Cartoon characters are famous for big heads which are equal to the size of their body. So the body goes down, do one ear twist foot, the other ear twist foot, come back up with the second half of this body to create fatness. A double thick body with the arms covering the seams makes a fat looking character, which is great. So come down with a shoulder here, and then a hand, and then we come back down, wrap it around the feet, and then we come out with the other hand and the other shoulder, and come back up to the top, run it along the other side of the body. The beauty of this body design is it looks fat because the arms are covering up the division between these two bubbles. So therefore you have a little more round character. Now we almost have Garfield here, so let's go ahead and put his face on. We'll put an eyeball here. Now don't close that circle right there, just leave it blank right there. Do an eyeball here, and then a line straight through the middle. Now do just a little dot right below the line there. You don't want to drop it down, you don't want big pupils. You just want two little dots right below that halfway line. And then one line for the mouth and the other line for the mouth. Then you put two lines like that for his ears, three stripes on the side like that, turn them around, 3 stripes across the back like that. And there you have a nice Garfield, but you're probably looking at this going, what is missing? Well, what's missing is his nose. It doesn't complete the picture. And when I struggled. Now this character I came up with probably 25 years ago, and this is 2011 right now. He requires a little circle right there to create his nose. Now I could twist a little circle. Maybe I could take a section of balloon and poke it in there. But it's very important, that nose, that's what pulls that whole face together. And then all of a sudden, after studying the cartoon, I realized an easiest way to make his nose, and that is simply the neck of the balloon. A perfect little circle, that neck. So that's why I made it a little longer. I just take that neck, pull down, and plant it right there where his nose should be. And there it is, a little round nose for Garfield, see? Anyway, very popular creation. Thank you.